One of the most heartwarming messages of Christmas is the message of the promise of peace. So who here, I know the camera won't show this, but who here longs for peace today? Me too.
At least a piece of it.
Well, so this is for us. This is for us. The prophet Isaiah gives us an experience, a very strong experience of peace amidst soldiers marching their boots into battle. So right there, we're given an image of peace that isn't what we think it is on earth. Isaiah gives us this image of peace in the midst of soldiers walking into battle and of garments that are soaked in blood. Whoa. Wow. And these boots and these blood-soaked garments, according to the prophet, says they will be used as fuel for the fire that will usher in the one. Whoa. The Prince of Peace. So the boots in battle and the blood-soaked garments are the very fuel for the fire. And as a Swedenborgian, how do I read that? Tested love. Tested love. For the fire that will usher in the one who is peace. I read this story every year as you do. You hear it, you read it, you live it. And we read of heavenly hosts who appear to shepherds out in the field, and they're tending to their sheep so peacefully in the field. And they appear to them and they sing about peace and goodwill to all people, not some people, not just the people we like, but peace and goodwill to all people. And we sing familiar Christmas carols, and the theme rings again and again in the Christmas carols of a peace that we long for. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, and it sings, sleep in heavenly peace. Can you feel it? This is what our carols bring to our hearts every year because they come from heaven. You know, our souls at the soul level, when we see a baby cradled in our mother or father's arms, when we see a baby Jesus in a depiction of the scene, we feel calm. And so the image of that little baby in the manger gives us peace even amidst a warring and chaotic world. Every mother and every father wants that child to have peace. And mothers in Iraq and Afghanistan, mothers in Tikrit, at times in Israel, in Darfur, they don't have any peace because mothers in the ghetto don't have peace because their children are in war. Did you know that some children have to walk miles in war-torn land just to get to school? these mothers don't have peace for their child. And we know that there are so many, too many children who are the targets of a world gone mad from extremism in many religions. And so it is not too different, and this is the connection this morning, it's not too different when we think about what Mary and Joseph were in at the time of baby Jesus' birth. If you think about King Herod taking the lives of the littlest ones, and once Jesus was born, this precious, serene, calm scene in the manger, they have to flee where? To Egypt, because it's not safe. So we think we're living, and we know we're living in war-torn times. And in times, is it any wonder that every parent, not only when they have a baby, every parent hopes for that child. Right, Teresa? Barb? Barb? Every parent hopes for that child, and every parent fears for that child. Is it any wonder? Is it any wonder that they do? So I turn now our hearts to meditate on the Magnificat, Mary's song and letter. At first, she gives thanks for the privilege of bearing this child, even amidst very strange circumstances. Very strange. She gives thanks and she lifts up the Lord for the gift. And that has its time. And Mary also very much has a tone in the Magnificat of steel. She says, those who have power will be dethroned. Those who are low will be lifted. Those who are hungry, they will be fed good things. She is a person who gives us a vision of peace, just like the prophet Isaiah. She gives us a vision of peace that must include justice. So she's saying, not until every child is safe will I rest, will the Lord rest. Very powerful. She helps us to tap into a longing that we only might find in the stable to be fulfilled. And so, I think of the babies that I've baptized this year at the hospital. My joy with the church is that the babies that I baptize, often with our church family, have a lot of peace in the baptism experience. But the babies at Beaumont, they're in a different place. And I cradle their bodies in one hand. They're so small. And I sprinkle their foreheads with blessing. And I realize as I look back on the year, which I do with all of you, by the way, in prayer and meditation, I see all of your faces, all of your lives in my prayers. And I look back also on these little ones who I baptize. And I realize that the peace that the Lord gives amidst the battles and the struggles, whether it's these babies that are struggling for their life, or it's a baby in Israel, or a child walking to school with bombs going off, or whether it's a child who struggles to keep grades up because there's things at home that don't feel right going on. The battles are different, but they're also the same. And the only one that can give peace is the one who comes. And I realize that Christmas comes for these children, but Christmas also comes for every one of us. Christmas comes for the child in you. It comes as a promise even amidst the struggles you face, whether it's health or discouragement. Maybe you feel alone, overwhelmed. Whatever is your battle, wherever your boots take you, the one who carries the world on his shoulders, the Prince of Peace, will see through your eyes. You'll get misty on Christmas Eve. You'll feel that sentimental feeling of the peace of Christmas. Whether you go to a church for Christmas Eve and you worship the baby Jesus as the incarnation of the awesome one God, or maybe you're meeting someone in your family for the first time, or you haven't seen someone like Alan, seeing his daughter and granddaughter since for years, you'll have a moment where you feel misty. And suddenly, he will be seeing through your eyes. And you know when it happens. You know when God is looking through your eyes because you're not alone. That's the moment Christmas touches us. Wherever we are. I plan myself, because this place is rented on Christmas Eve, so we can't offer a Christmas Eve service, so I plan to go to another church. And I plan to behold the Christ child with other people in another church. But there's always a moment, whether it's beautiful violin music or a choir that's singing, or maybe the minister says something, or maybe someone sitting next to you, you look at them and you feel something. Whatever it is that marks a moment, it is the one looking through you. And you know that he who carries the weight of the world on his shoulders, he's the one who is with you. And you know you're not alone. You just know it. And you know that you never have been. And you know that you never will be alone. The Lord has done great things for me, Mary says. He has done wonderful things for me. Praise the Lord.